saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriata's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. Their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny the connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. I am no one. Everything that defined me, my livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Tuatha. Lyra is my life now. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was fate. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriata's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. Goodbye and good luck.
There are spies among us, I am certain. The enemy knew too much.
Yeah?
Aye, good day.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items? Or sell them? If you need another trade. Get a load of this.
The jagged cliffs, angles meeting the swollen sea, treacherous to the ungainly Alfar, was the homeland our people took. I have seen the places upon the hillside our ancestors forged from sea-sculpted stone. Near Rathlin, the bluffs of Twilly were settled near the light of the heavens that glittered brightest, gazing towards Lyria's teardrop, the earth's steeple rising to meet her magnificence.
great cycle brought powerful magic to Amalur. The arcane veil gapped King Yssa's reign, and all things in balance also its destruction. The seasons passed, the summer wilted into autumn, and Lord Olm calmed his strength. King Yssa's sway receded as does the shade at noon. The Feylands rested from their sprouting, and a haze of indolence silenced the woods. When the winter moon waned, it began. A terrible thunder rolled across the darkened plains of Erethel.
Remarkable. The treasures of Culm. They are more beautiful than I remember. This is truly an achievement, one that will shape the days to come, I promise you. You will have it, as you deserve something equal to the great service you have done me and the refugees. I have acquired many tools and weapons during this long journey west. I have set them aside to use in constructing New Culm, but I now offer them to you. You are welcome to one item from my private hoard as thanks. Erlich will accompany you, of course. His spear may come in handy along the way. Goodbye.
Well, here we are. It's time to get started. And by that I mean I'm supposed to kill you, here, away from the eyes of the refugees. As you've probably guessed, there is no reward. There never was. Kras is probably halfway to Rathir by now. Never trust nobles, my friend, even false ones. Now, I'm not in the mood for killing at the moment, but orders are orders. I know he lies. That's why we get along so well.
How in the... Erlich, that turncoat. I never should have trusted a liar to commit murder. That's what murderers are for. What do you want? Of course I did. I'm not the Lord of Dolve Arn. I'm not even from the Tawili coast. But what does it matter? I only did what I had to do. Don't we all? The Rathir authorities don't have to know. Keep this quiet and let me sail with this galley, and you can have the gold I received for the treasures of Kuln. I am a man of my word. Most of the time. No, you wretch! You will rue the day you betrayed Kras. Do you hear me? Come back.
Walk today, see tomorrow. Don't miss the Seafoam Tavern.
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber, treasure hunter, or like us, a refugee in search of shelter? You did? Well, here I was about to start complaining about them. We've been trapped down here for days, unable to get past those blades, and you simply walk in and disable them, just like that. I'm impressed. I'll say thanks, but the person you're really going to want to talk to is Oma. He moved mountains to find me. Come along now. The others are waiting back at camp. The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Kuln, but it was nothing like this. If the bandits don't get you, the starvation will. Oma Vogard was Kuln's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attacked that his hands gave out. Now he can't even hold a bow without shaking. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life, one to rival a man with half his years. I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse, before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Fields, I'd gather. We probably could have sought refuge in Rathir, but there is no way that Dokkalfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? See you.
Thank the gods.
You've come to save us?
I thought we were doomed. Hello. a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Datir, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain, for every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Tawili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave, but not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tawili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. Bye.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items or sell? Always looking... Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. If you need enough...
I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. Or did at one point, you know. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. I was a hunter once. Those days are finished. Yours, it seems, are just beginning. Goodbye.
Hello there, stranger.
What is it now? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. We will leave when there is someplace else for us to go. Tell your friends in Emer that as long as the Tuatha burn our homes, we'll keep searching for a place to settle. I saw them with my own eyes, and I know Tuatha killed my fair share in the war. I am Elrod Edmund, leader of this pathetic band of ragmen. We come from the farms of the Twili coast. Go there now, and you will find only ruin. The Tuatha raiding parties terrorized us where we were safest. At home. There are spies among us, my friend, and they must be rooted out. Will you help me? Kill them. What else? I would do it myself, but I must lead my people. They have no hope left to speak of. My strength is all they have. Fine. Then we shall be discreet. There are 3 whom I suspect of scouting for the Tuatha. They are paid in gold. There is no record of their actions. Onrad Amphast is posing as a military recruiter, while Froma and Nag are both residents of our camps in the plain. Be careful. Consider all of them well connected. Be swift. Be merciless. Onrad lurks in the shade of the Forsaken Plain, mostly. Try Emer, or the West Phalanx. Froma and Nag are likely in one of the refugee camps to the east. I was raised in Koln and spent my summers fishing the Twili coast. And when the war came, I threw my lot in with General Tolera. May she forgive herself. They claim to be low on supplies, to be unable to spare even the smallest charity. But I know better. I have seen. Unlike us, they have everything they need, and more. Here we are safe from the Fae, all of them. We are simple people. We don't wish to be pawns in the games of immortals, summer or winter. As for Emer, the villagers have made it very clear that we're not welcome. There would be more understanding if they had endured our hardships. Good luck.
from this tale that you mortals create myths. There were many battles, many losses, many victories. The Tempest spared no one. Your ancestors hid as the ground trembled under the gathered armies of Remastered. They whispered tales of the radiant Issa, striking the winter Fae like lightning, tearing the looming clouds. It was everything you know of war.
I will now tell you of those times as it was written of our forebearers. They lived off the bounty of the sea and the grasses and fields, the newly met peoples, beasts and flowers. If I am a liar, there is no truth on Deliria. The temper of our tired family calmed before waves, and hidden among the rocks, the shadowed nooks of beach and shore, a secret warned our ancestors. The arcane wielded by Deliria's chosen, a sanctified buttress, the grounds on which they practiced her magic arts. You may think I'm lying, but unfortunately I'm telling the truth as I saw it then anyway. This thing was a fleeting companion, but a companion nonetheless. Do you hear? It's the earthly moans of time. Listless motes of cavern dust, the crumbled ruin beneath our feet, all the ordained path of the blessed. You have found their way, their home, their solace. You're near them. No, I was wrong.
Welcome. Hello there. Out enjoying a walk in the ruins? You'd better keep your blade nearby. Of course, the cradle, an incredible setting, so rich in its magical history. I was there months ago searching for artifacts, but only came across a few random wand components and a reagent or two. Nothing fantastic, but definitely worth the trip. I am a student of the world, my friend. The world. One cannot learn what he wishes to know from books and recipes. No, he must search the countryside for answers. Look around you. This ruin holds knowledge so deep that no one man will glean it. But that will not keep Arion Raff from trying. Ha! An incredible region. One that begs to be studied. Where else can one truly get a sense of the withering war and its dramatic effects on our world? It is endlessly fascinating. We have nothing like it in all our long histories. The Fae are singular in their abhorrence of warfare. It's what makes them unique. Goodbye, then.
The greatest heights of magical power. I achieved everything and anything I desired, except to find one of them again. And inevitably, someone would remind me through their ugliness that somewhere, something as beautiful and perfect as that divine spirit existed. People will hurt you. People will try to use you. But this thing was different. Yes, I could trust it, and it would protect me from the callousness of others.
open for business when the road is... Your marketplace? If you need enough... the trade, then come and see me.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of Ashara. Around them, they heard the song of splendor of a once and future summer. And they responded. And the earth moved. The carver shaped, the architect built, and the shaper composed.
I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alfar army, we have no reason to speak. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. Ha! I'd like to see you prove that. Goodbye, my friend. I was a soldier once. In the years before the Crystal War, I saw many die at Gallifore Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. Never heard of such a fellow. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. I don't feel like talking about the Tuatha anymore. A spy? Me? Ridiculous. You might want to stop your drinking while you still have some of your wits left. Or perhaps I better stop you myself. Good riddance.
Help me, please. I've been robbed. The rogue stabbed me, made off with my belongings. Blast! I can't believe I lost the amulet. Damn, Freeman. We refugees are an easy target. There's little we can do to defend ourselves. He came from the cliffs. A bandit, I think. Stabbed me in the back, then made off with my satchel in his hand, and a wicked smile on his face. My mother's prized amulet is gone. A kind woman's last gift to her devoted son. I am in no condition to give chase. Will you help me? I don't know. It looked like one of the bandits that prey on us poor refugees. That amulet could fetch a fair sum. So I am. What of it? My treacherous partner stuck me when my back was turned. First he nicked me, then he nicked my bag. Not like it matters. If you bring that amulet, I'll pay you for it. It's that simple. Mine or not, I intend to have that prize. Don't insult me. You know damn well who I am, and what I've done. I'm surprised Immundus's wrinkled old head had enough sense left to tell you. They should be ashamed of themselves. With all they have, the least they can do is spare a little extra for the dying. We're not bad people, just unlucky. Haven't you heard? The Tuatha have moved raiding parties inland. They've sacked homes all along the coast. Farms burned, whole families killed. Those of us that have survived are moving west, hoping the Summer Fae will provide a safe haven. The last hope for the hopeless. It was an item of much sentimental value. It had a name. The Ear of Barnabas. No, the Eye of Sunspar. It was something ridiculous. Not professional bandits, exactly, but sly enough to cut a living out of this dried and dusty wasteland. You never know where they're going to strike next. So, old Mundus knows what happened. Well, I don't have the amulet. Gelt does. He took it from me. In exchange, he left his dagger in my shoulder. Hurry, there isn't much time.
Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. What? You're mad. How dare you call me a spy? Goodbye.
Good to see you again.
This is no life. Sleeping in the dust. Awful nice.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. I don't care where we are. All I care about is finding some place to call home. So if they can keep their blasted, battle-dead glory, I just want a decent night's sleep. I was a seamstress who made nets for the coastal fishermen. My hands may be callous, but they're strong. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawili. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. I have no idea what you mean. The thought is offensive at best. I'll teach you not to make such accusations. Bye.
Damn refugees.
The road has been long for you, my friend. You wear the dust of a job well done. I thank you. The people of the Tawili coast thank you. I have seen much savagery on the eastern shores. May it stay there, where blood fills the boots of the fallen. We all do our part. You have done yours. Stay vigilant.
Don't look at me.
Hello.
You again? I've told you everything I know about those two knaves. Do not waste my time. Return to me only if you carry my stolen amulet. I will reward you well. I've told you everything, fool. You must be joking. I did some business with Azo before the war through correspondence. He was a terrible miser and a cheat. This village was once a bustling crossroads for traders and dealers in the arcane. However, in recent years, it has become a barren outpost for the ignorant. Disgusting, sweaty, pathetic things. Do not misunderstand me. I have sympathy for the wretched, but only if they're far from my doorstep. It was an impressive gem sold to me on the road to Haxi. Quite the curio. It is called the Eye of Aman, a magical token shaped by the Fae Aman the Clever. I've yet to research it thoroughly, but it is certainly valuable. One must keep an eye on every possession since the freemen began to terrorize the plain. Some dare to enter the village even with the militia outside. Farewell, stranger.
Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The Godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to wait. You didn't! I've been scouring the Forsaken Plain for such documents, but an old man can only stand the hot sun for so long. If you can bring me the rest of that research, I will compensate you accordingly. I am only days from completing the definitive work on the Godstorm, but I need those papers. Never have I been blessed with such good fortune. The name doesn't shake loose any memories. Was he a writer too? I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. the Cradle of Summer must not be sullied by my taint. It is a good place to find the piece I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae in the Cradle of Summer can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the Godstorm. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund. Gruff, coarse, not a pleasantry in sight. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day, I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library, and I found new life in the ancient books. They are lost to the ages, I'm afraid. Mine, such as Awald and Callus, are rare. I suspect that their works have been spread across the plains. Keep your eyes open.
There are few healers as talented as Orca Tetrin, the tavern.
Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the Cradle of Summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern Arethel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Uraltusk. In a hidden valley, northwest of the plains of Arethel, the ruins of Uraltusk lie undisturbed, as they have for many centuries. What Talera wants there is beyond me, but I trust her, even if it goes against my better judgment. You should be just what the General's looking for.
Hello there. It's about time. Someone new. I was beginning to think I'd turned to dust here at this counter alone, uninteresting and not having spoken to another soul in days. Han likes to keep me up here, because down there I fill his ears with talk. Like that's a bad thing. This village is a graveyard sometimes. Talk would do it some good. Molly Janik at your service. I teach alchemy. What can be taught, that is. Most of it is a gift. Either you have it, or you don't. So bored. Oh, good. You again.
Don't you dare leave me. It's big business around here. The magic of the Forsaken Plain has cooked up some mighty strange ingredients, that's for sure. You'll find some pretty weird stuff. My father was an alchemist. He trained me and my sister Lila to carry on his legacy. Lila hates people, spends most of her time in the Cradle of Summer, alone. Dull. I hate to say it, but the refugees are the most excitement we've seen here in weeks. You'd think there'd be more drama with a war on, but not in Emir. Here we are between the Cradle of Summer and Rathia, and I spend my days watching the clouds drift by. What do you want to know? If you're going to spend time with Lila, you might want to prepare yourself beforehand. She's, unique. Lila has spent far too long in the Cradle of Summer with the Fae and their magic. All of that exposure has, how do I put this, altered her perspective. She's strange, all right. There, I said it. Khan is an idiot. He's the only one who's imposed this ban on refugees in the village. To what end? They don't want trouble. Only food, water, a warm bed. Idiot. I'm so bored.
May I help you? They are poor creatures. I pity them, as should you. It took much gold to secure a permanent residence here, and for reassurances that there would be few questions. There is very little of interest to know about me. I'm a simple scholar. I'm here for the serenity, the quiet. Where did you hear that name? The man you speak of is dead, and all of his wealth has died with him. I told you, I don't know the man. Enough. You're persistent, I understand. What do you want? I want no part of that old life. Not the gold, not the reputation, not the worry. I made that false grave because I was tired of people hounding me for salvation. Wish to know where my money is? I'll tell you, it's gone. All gone. All I have left are my family rings. I just want to be left alone, to start over. Can't you appreciate that? Please, show me some mercy. No, don't tell anyone. I have terrible enemies. I won't live to see the evening. Please, you can't. He was my gardener. When the Tuatha killed him, I decided to take his name. It was the only thing he had that belonged to him. Perhaps he lives on now because of me. Goodbye.
Please, make yourself comfortable. We don't see too many travelers in Emir these days. Not with that forest of tents growing out front. Relax, and partake of what our small hamlet has to offer. This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. These plains have been soaked in the deepest magic. Every leaf, every stem, every root holds secrets. If you want to know more about our history, and about the fascinating flora and fauna of the Forsaken Plain, speak to Molly upstairs. She's a sweetie. Refugees from the coast of Twili. They claim their village was burned by Tuatha, but I know better. The Tuatha here in the realm of the Summer Court? I think not. They began arriving several weeks ago, marching from Galafor with their belongings dragged behind them. We've given them all we can, but we only have so much. No problem. We just fixed one up all nice and tidy. You're welcome to it. Well, you know where to go if you need a place to rest. We'll be here if you need us.
Hi. Hello, I'm Orca Tetran, village healer. You're new in Emir. I never forget a face. Are you with the refugees? I'm sure you've heard about how Emir is the birthplace of modern herbalism, a cradle of enchanted flora, a haven for the wildest reagents. Me, I don't care about that. I like the people. We get all sorts of interesting folk in here, like Oddwald the Scribe, like you. Nope, I'm never bored, not in a mare. I've never met one so obsessed. He goes on and on about his life's work, as if other mortals will find his study of the Fae as fascinating as he does. You can usually find him holed up in his house across the way, but sometimes he spends time here with us in the tavern. They are a sorry caravan. I, for one, believe their stories. Look what the Tuatha have done across the sea, and what they intend to do if they arrive here. Gods forbid. What would stop them from sending warriors to hunt us down by our very hearths? The Tuatha will not rest until they break us. That is why we must never let them. Bye. Stay safe.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. I don't recognize your face. Strangers are somewhat scarce in a village like this one. Good day. I am Anchor Edmure, scholar and novice sagecrafter. Of course, I may not be a novice much longer. Not after the Scholiar Arcana reads my latest discoveries. I've lived in a mare for many years, uneventfully so. But recent events have led me to believe that my time here is all part of a greater destiny. You see, my apprentice Donald and I have noticed strange weather patterns that occur only in the Forsaken Plain. We don't have answers yet, but we will. Very few have noticed, but the temperature around the Forsaken Plain is dropping. It's so slight that you wouldn't even feel the chill unless you knew to expect it. I don't know the cause of this phenomenon, but I'm sure whatever it is will greatly interest the Scholia Arcana. I follow the strains of magic to this spot, across fields and forests, and over sea and stone. There's a great power resting beneath them air. It's ancient, wild. They are the supreme authorities on magic, and for years I have petitioned them for membership. Unfortunately, they have yet to recognize my scholarship. Until we meet again.